Class 14, Week 4 for 5B. Good morning, kids. Our class today will be focused about how to write a summary. First, we are going to define it. A summary is defined as a quick or short review of what happened. What elements you have to include? You have to include all the essential information that a person will need to understand without reading the original source or seen or heard. A summary needs to be concise, brief, not too descriptive, with a good paragraph structure. The summary in general terms is the most difficult for students, so in order that you can do it easier, we will check some points. Which are the steps to follow? The first one is to shorten the text in such a way that all facts are in the summary, but you have to leave out examples, evaluations, and interpretations. Second, you have to skim the text. What is that? You should know what is the main content of it. Read the headline carefully. Why the headline? Because the headline gives us the idea of what is the reading about. Third one, you have to read the text again to understand more details. You must have understood the whole text. After that, you have to make notes. You have to underline important words in the text that help you to have key words, the specific words that give you the point to make your summarize. Then you have to form your sentences. With the help of your keywords that you have found in the reading or in the topic, these sentences should reflect the main content of the text. Then, one important part of it is to connect the sentences. In other cases, will be only sentences alone, and they don't define the content of the real summary. What is the way of this? Is using conjunctions such as and, so, but, because, which, who, where, when, or any other word that connects your ideas. Then, what another points are important that you have to consider to write it? First, the summaries in general terms use simple present or simple past. Sometimes you have to change the persons. Why? Because if you are reading, maybe Andrea, you are going to focus about her or about she. Then you have to check your summary. Watch out for spelling mistakes. And then one important point that is not included is your opinion. Okay, is a summary. Is when you reduce information in order that any person can read it and can understand a lesson. In your work, as in English, as in Spanish, many times you had to learn how to write a summary, that you don't have to write again all the information. You had to restate the ideas with the most important facts. Here we have two ideas which maybe you are going to focus more about this. One, what is the purpose to summarize? The skill of summarizing builds comprehension. The summarizing is one very difficult step. Why? Because if you don't understand what you have read, it's quite difficult that you can make your summarizing. The other point is, summarizing means to retell the most important parts of a story or whatever as a shorter version. So if you have to read, I don't know, a book of 20 or 10 pages, you have to take out the more relevant information, underlining keywords, and then you start understanding the reading, and then your skill of summarizing will be better. Here is a diagram of summarize. What are the points that you have to consider and make it easier? To retell the main events in a shorter version. How? First, somebody. Who is the main or the main character or characters of that writing? Then, what did the character want? What is the information, what they want to transmit? Then we have but. What was the problem? Then we have so. How did the character try to solve the problem? And then, how does the story end? So if you pay attention to all these 5 points, is the way that you are going to locate the information in the reading, in the topic. You have to define all of them, and in that way you can answer these questions and you make your summarization easier. Let's go to read an example. The article Polar Problem explains how polar bears are in danger of becoming extinct within the next 100 years because of global warming. Each year the ice is melting earlier, so it is difficult for polar bears to hunt for food because they hunt seals by standing on the ice. Since they aren't eating enough, they are also getting thin and weak. The experts believe that global warming is the main cause of the ice melting earlier since our temperatures are increasing. So this example is going to be used to do your homework. First, you are going to read it twice. You are going to follow the chart that you saw the different parts to locate in the reading. Then you are going to copy the example in your notebooks as well as the information given. When you have already read, you are going to complete these points. First, main idea. Then the important details that we read in this example. And the third one, concluding your sentence. Bye. After this, you are going to check in your workbook. Please answer the page 126, page 126, and you're going to write the summary. I hope that with these ideas and with this chart, you will be able to make it easier. See you in the next class. Bye.